Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Tony. This is the 15-Minute Gamer and welcome to my review of F1 22 on the PC. Of course, you can get it on consoles as well and it'll set you back about 50 quid. Before we start though, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, smash the like button and comment below to let me know your favourite driver or what you think of the game. So one of the first things I want to talk about is VR and graphics. So VR is finally back. However, I am hearing the performance is terrible. So if you're going to pick this up just for VR, maybe wait until there's a few patches out. If you've never tried VR on a racing game before, you'll never look back once you go to a flat screen. And I'm definitely missing my VR headset for this. So yeah, I'm so glad to see that back. It's a good feature. Graphics wise, outside of VR, the tracks and weather effects look really good. In fact, the game overall looks very good on the track. They've also redesigned some of the tracks to put into current standards and they look fantastic. However, I will say there are a few flat textures off track. Like there was a boat and the life buoy on the back was like flat to it. The water looked rubbish. In fact, the boat looked rubbish. And the dashboards, the supercars look flat. There is a few flat textures. The crowd, again, don't look particularly great. I've always found that in a lot of games like this, in football games, crowds also look a little bit rubbish. This doesn't improve that. But overall, I'd say the graphics are pretty good and it runs really well. I've got it on Ultra on my 3080. However, I did have to drop it from 1440 to 1080 to get it to run consistently on Ultra. Presentation wise, it takes its cues from Sky F1, so it's like had this whole broadcast thing put in. So the formation lap can be done broadcast, so if you don't want to drive behind, or you can then get into your pit lane. But if you don't want that, you can put on the broadcast setting that'll kind of like just do it like you're watching the TV and it'll like talk and chat about what's happening, and you'll see the drivers weaving and stuff, and it looks really cool. You can also do it on pit stops, so you can do the pit stops manually where you even have to pull into your pit box, which is a great new feature. And wheels finally come off. I know they finally put animations for wheels coming off your car in the pit stop. Or you can just go to broadcast and you'll just watch it from that, and the broadcast setting looks really cool for the pit stop. So yeah, I'm glad to see the presentation has been upped on this one. The AI and handling and driving is up next. I would say it's all really good. The racing is probably some of the best racing I've had in a Formula 1 game for ages. It really keeps you on your toes. One race, I actually got double overtook by two cars with DRS, and they both went either side of me, and it was just incredible to see. And they will fight you for positions. They'll fight you for every inch of track. If you're going to overtake, they will pull in and block the racing line and stuff. I would honestly say the AI's had a massive upgrade, but they're still a bit too aggressive. And there was many times when I'd overtook them, going into a corner, and they'll just punt me into a wall. So I think that could do have been worked on. But overall, AI is very good. The handling of the cars has definitely been improved as well. This year, there's obviously new regulations, and you can tell the cars feel a bit slower and sluggish in some ways, but the way they stick to the road is really well done. And the racing is just so close because of it. You can follow a car and you will fight for that position. If a car is like in DRS range, it becomes a big problem now. And DRS is so important, just like it is in Formula 1 in the real terms. But yeah, you see a car within that 1 second and you're like, oh no, they're going to get me. And I had the wrong aero set up for a race and I suffered so badly on the back straights. I'd done all right in the midsection where it was all like bendy and curves and stuff. But outside that, so I had to lose positions and then gain them back. And the racing was so good. So they've really improved that as well. However, one thing I will say about the AI, apart from being aggressive, is once you have the lead, they just seem to give up. Just go, oh, well, you win. But yeah, I think that's really good. And there was a few things like there was a safety car in the race. Russell went out in the race and I thought that was really good. It seemed random and I liked that. So yeah, car handling's all being done. AI is really good. Unfortunately, from that, it does move into the dislike section of this video. So the music in this game has been EA'd and it's absolutely terrible. I've turned it off. It's awful music. It doesn't fit the game at all. I don't think it fits the core audience of who would be playing F1. it fits the core audience of, say, FIFA and Ultimate Team, because it tends to have a younger audience. I would say I don't think it fits in this game. I didn't like it. It's off. The worst thing about this game is F1 Life. I thought this was going to be a great multiplayer mode. It said, live the life of a racing driver. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to like buy cool cars and drive around and, you know, like do training and like get fitter. None of that. It's basically a cosmetic store place. So basically you can like upgrade your house, your furniture, your pictures. But of course, none of this is free. No. It now has cosmetic microtransactions. Something called Bitcoins. You can get 50,000 of them for $26.99. You can get Beats headphones. They cost about 3,000 Bitcoins. Your furniture costs Bitcoins. This costs, it's awful. It's terrible. So poorly implemented. It looks rubbish as well. You get like supercar tokens and you can, I'm going to come back to supercars in a minute, but yeah, then you can put them around and your avatar stands around them and your avatar can do different poses. It's awful. And I really worry why this is going to be in the next game. I think this is going to be upped and put in with the story mode. It's going to be terrible. Season Pass is back. I have no idea why you need Season Pass in an F1 game. It's to unlock cosmetics. It's rubbish. At the end of every race, it'll go, basically, here's some XP. Oh, well, you could have unlocked green. And you're like, oh, wow. That should be free in the game. It shouldn't need to be a Season Pass. Supercars have been added now. Like, this is part of this driver's life thing. So you can unlock supercars that only relate to the manufacturers in the game. So there's nothing special like a Zonda or anything. It's only McLaren and Aston Martins and stuff. To me, absolutely pointless. It doesn't work. You do like drift and time events and stuff, and they're rubbish. They don't work. They're slow. I don't like them at all. I don't understand if they were going to put them in. Why not say have press days, or say having to take a member of the press on an open road, or having to race a plane, you know, like Forza. Just things stupid that would have got you away from F1, but no, it's boring and pointless. So yeah, next up, I'm going to talk about the lack of communication from the race engineer. I found this to be a bit like off-putting and immersion breaking. Like, there's nothing. I drove 5 laps without a front wing and didn't even realize. He said there's a change of strategy, but not why. Also, there's like no feedback, say someone crashes or debris on the track. Like, it's not like, oh, there's debris on the track at turn 2, be careful. It's just like, yeah, something on the track, be careful, right, done. And you're like, well, I think there could be more immersion there, like a lot more immersion. When you finish a race or when you're fighting, there's just little feedback. I think that could do with being improved hugely. There's also no single player campaign or story in the game. I don't think it's been done great in F1 games in the past, but I would have thought alongside F1 Life, it would have made some sense, but no, nothing. You only get Grand Prix, single races, time trials, and these stupid supercar things, or multiplayer, of course. To me, just not enough game modes to justify the price. Difficulty is also something I've had problems with in F1 in the past. This doesn't change that. I just don't understand why. It's so simple. Make you do some laps. Say who you want to compete against. So say you want to battle against Ricardo. He's 1.5 seconds behind you. Well, okay, I want to up his difficulty 1.5 seconds. I just don't understand why that's not a thing. It's so hard to get right. Some races you'll be blitzing it. Next race you'll be at the back. I just can never get it right. There's still also no proper crash physics due to licensing. This will never change, but it's such a shame to see, especially when they're going for immersion. Overall, I would say some of the new additions are pretty good, especially VR. The way the cars handle in the AI is all a massive improvement over F1 21. And it does push it in a positive direction. It does make it a great game as a pure mainstream racing game. It's at least as good as anything else out there. However, it's just such a shame EA have got their grubby mitts into it and they've introduced microtransactions. They've shoehorned this F1 life in that's rubbish, season passes, and it just doesn't work inside an F1 game. Most people who play an F1 game are going to be F1 fans and purists, and they're not going to like any of this, alongside the terrible music as well, which is a shame, and I really worry about next seasons already. I think it could be a microtransaction hellhole, but we'll see. You never know. Overall, should you get it? Yeah, I think it's worth a buy on this occasion. It is a step up from F1 21. The racing's a lot closer, a lot better. graphical improvements, VR, physics, everything else is going in the right direction. Just it's taking a massive step back in other ways. But luckily, because F1 life and stuff isn't too in your face, it's not awful and you can just ignore it if you want to. And that's all I have to say on the matter. So I hope you enjoyed this review. See you on the next one. Goodbye.